Okay, this is a little video on how to load electric e-bikes into a pickup truck, but let me go back a little bit. We had a nice, beautiful Buick Encore that we towed around a motorhome, and we got these dirt bikes for our trip out west. So I bought similar to a bike rack. You put into the receiver and you put the bikes on this way. Well, we bought those. Needless to say, they didn't work. One of the dirt bikes went flying off the rack. I shattered and broke my nose, almost a rib. It was, it was a mess. So we had to sell the Buick Encore. We ended up buying this Ford Ranger. Now we're gonna attempt to put these bikes on here and see how it works out. So we have no idea how it's gonna work. So you have to kind of watch this. All right, so we have no idea what we're doing. So what I did is I bought, these are like motorcycle chocks, they call them. What I did is get some 3/4 inch marine grade plywood, screwed those in each end, put some foam to secure the wheels. And I kind of have an idea how we're gonna do this, so we'll see how it works. We got one bike on, and I know this looks kind of crazy, but it's the only thing I could find. This is the way I keep them secure like this, and then with the front wheel chopped. I've been online all over the place trying to find some widget or something, but without spending thousands of dollars to secure these things, I came up with the Walmart special. And again, these are our first videos. I made my first video last night. I know people are gonna go crazy, but take a break. We're just getting started. As you can see, this is the extent of my engineering here. By the way, we had to go on YouTube because putting these straps in this ratchet, I mean, this is like everything we did, it was going the wrong way and everything. So the YouTube says go down underneath and through the loop. That's it. Okay, after several hours, my engineering idea didn't work so great, as you can see. So I went on YouTube, seeing how they put these in here like this at an angle and push them together, but actually, believe it or not, they're not going anywhere. I mean, anywhere. They're really, really super, super tight. I guess what I had to make sure is it doesn't compress the shock absorbers so much. They say that could kind of do something to the seal of the shocks. This thing has some big King Kong shock here. I don't think you're gonna hurt that. But man, I think this is the ticket. I mean, I might buy one more strap to put around the back. I don't know, but I think this is the ticket. I'm gonna drive to Home Depot like this and come back, and we'll see. If I come back and they're still here, it's a success. Okay, went to Home Depot, rode over railroad tracks like crazy, 70 miles an hour on a country road in a 35-mile zone, driving like a New York City taxi driver. Same way I drive. And actually, by the way, before you guys make some comments about these seats, I put these in here because I've had several back surgeries, hip replacement, shoulder replacement, so I need a lot of cushioning. So that's why we put these on here. But anyway, I went back to my old way because I think it just looks cleaner. We could also have room to cover it. The other way we weren't able to cover it, but they're both just as secure. They're not going anywhere. And I know I'm not an engineer. You can see that. You think a guy who's got a Prevost has probably got half an engineer's brain, but for some reason I wasn't in that line. So anyway, yeah, so these right here, the pads, like I said, they're for a lot of back surgery. So I went from the outhouse to the penthouse through my labor, not my brains. So anyway, this I think is secure. I think it's gonna go this way. We're gonna try it this way and I think it's gonna work. So my invention kind of did work. So, it may not look pretty, but I think it works. And it's definitely not going anywhere with the straps. So I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of comments. Everybody's gonna, what are you nuts? What are you doing? That's crazy. Well, if someone got a better idea, let me know. I did see a good idea where you mount the track to the front of the bed, and you do all that craziness, and that's gets into a bunch of money. And I think this is just as secure. So that's how we secure the dirt bikes to the short bed pickup before we put it on the Prevost, before we head out west for a couple of months and go crazy on them mountains, riding around on them dirt bikes. Bam. Okay, so we finally got these dirt bikes mounted in the back of the pickup truck for when we go out west. And if you go through the beginning of the videos, you're gonna see it was kind of sketchy from the beginning. I had all kind of crazy ideas and none of them worked. I had straps everywhere. It looked like a spaghetti. But what I did do is I found these on YouTube, how to do this, and this works amazing. I had these mounted in the bottom of the bed. Did a little crisscross action here. And the handlebars, got those secured with some ratchet tie-down straps. But this thing isn't, I've been driving around for probably a couple weeks with this thing on the back. It ain't going nowhere. This is just the slack of the rope. I'm gonna get a rubber band and fix that up. But man, I mean, this is amazing. And then you might say, what's this little ghetto looking thing here? Well, what this is, I did it without this little stand, but it puts a little more pressure on the shock absorbers when you ratchet it down. When you lay the bike, when you put the bike on this heavy, dense rubber in that little footstool, it takes a lot of pressure off the shock absorbers. So I think it doesn't look so great, but I think it works amazing and it serves the purpose. I took those off and tried it, and when I ratcheted it down, you could automatically see that it compresses the shocks. So man, finally got this down. Now my biggest dilemma is finding covers, and that's a whole other story. I had a tarp to go over the top to transport that. That wasn't gonna work. So what I'm thinking of doing is get individual bike covers, put them on, and then ratchet around put the hooks over the handlebars. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I've got a couple ideas, but for right now, the most important thing is we got these things finally mounted, ready to go out west, tear up the trails all over the place. That's it. Bam.